There may not be an actual smoking gun with any of the ongoing investigations into Donald Trump, but if there was going to be a smoking gun, the DOJ currently has it in their possession. What the DOJ has is a report commissioned by Donald Trump's campaign to where they paid this group $600,000 to go out there and find voter fraud so that they could contest the results of the 2020 election. They quickly compiled their report. They did their investigation. They looked at fraud. They looked at dead voters, and they finished the report, handed it to the Trump campaign, and said, it's not there. There's no fraud. I mean, there's a little bit of fraud. There's a couple cases here, a couple cases there, but there's no fraud that would amount to stealing of an election. There's no amount of fraud that would have changed the results. You lost fair and square. This highly credible group that Trump paid told him. The DOJ, it was revealed late last week, has this report. They also have other reports commissioned by Trump and his allies that say the same thing. But this is the first one that Trump himself paid $600,000 to have. Here's why it matters. Researchers paid by Trump's team had, quote, high confidence of only 9 dead voters in Fulton County, Georgia, defined as ballots that may have been cast by someone else in the name of a deceased person. They believe there was a potential statewide exposure of 23 such votes across the Peach State, or 4,977 less than the minimum Trump claimed. The Trump report also noted that they also found little evidence of voter fraud in Nevada, another state where the former president has also contested the results after losing to President Biden. According to the Washington Post, the Project 2020 report conducted by the Berkeley Research Group and a team of scientists has now been obtained by prosecutors investigating the January 6, 2020 attack on the U.S. Capitol. A copy was reviewed by the Washington Post, and it shows that Trump's own campaign paid more than $600,000 for research that undercut many of his most explosive claims. The research was never made public. I wonder why, right? Why wouldn't you tell people that you're lying to them? Now, the reason I say this could be the smoking gun is because the only possible legal defense Trump has, if he's charged with conspiracy against the United States, attempts to defraud the United States by claiming the 2020 election was stolen, which those would likely be the charges, the only possible legal defense he would have in the eyes of the law, I'm not saying I agree with it, I'm saying the law says this is what it could be, is if he's able to go into court, if indicted, and say, listen, I genuinely thought it was stolen. Therefore, the things I did were because we had this evidence, we had these reports, we had all of this telling me these things happen, and we were just trying to get to the bottom of it. We were basically on a fact-finding mission. This report destroys that defense, 100% destroys it. Because he was told by the people he paid himself that everything you're saying is not true. We have scientists, for God's sakes, that looked at this and said this didn't happen. Basically telling him, maybe not with as many words, but telling him you're lying to people. We've looked at it. We've crunched the numbers. We looked through the voting registers. We've looked through everything. Nothing that you want to be real is real. So at that point, what prosecutors would be able to do if Trump presents that defense is say, no, this is not a viable defense. I mean, the judge could even come out and say this is not a viable defense. Too many confidants, too many experts had already told you all of this was a lie. So it doesn't matter if you're saying, no, but I really believed it was. You were presented with the evidence. You then made the decision to not believe the evidence, to believe the reality in front of your own eyes. At that point, it doesn't matter what you believed. It doesn't matter what you wanted to be real. You knew the truth and you chose to ignore it. Therefore, your saying that you genuinely believed it is no longer a viable defense. So again, there may not be a smoking gun in this case, but if there is, it's this new report. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel, We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.